JC's back. Yeah, that was fun. I went to Denver. That was a super fun adventure. I froze my hands and my tootsies, and it was cool. But I promised myself that when I came back, I needed to focus. I really needed to work on the next portion of permanent peace, because I said I was going to do astral projection, which, not gonna lie, astral projection was really easy towards the end. What wasn't easy was maintaining it. See, astral projection is an ability, and this ability comes about through a lifestyle. A way to look at it is, imagine if astral projection is your job and you want to be the best at your job. So what do? You build a lifestyle around your job. And if you replace astral projection with your actual job and see how, if you get the right sleep, if you eat correctly, if you hang out with people at certain times and avoid hanging out with them super late into the night, you can actually become an incredible worker and become great at your job. Same thing happens with astral projection. When you live a certain way, when you're mindful, when you don't overeat, when you don't overthink, and you consistently bring yourself to the now rather than worrying about the future, reminiscing on the past, it's very easy to astral project. Very easy. But I don't want to teach you guys astral projection because it happens almost naturally when you enter this state. And with the people that are closer to me, those who have my phone number, those who reach out and message me often, what I see is the lifestyle. Words are hard. The lifestyle is really where people struggle. And by that, I mean that they don't really live a way that would allow them to astral project easily. Anyone can sit down and get out of their body. I truly believe anyone can do that. But those who can get out in a span of 10 to 20 minutes are going to be living in a very different way than those who take 3 to 4 hours. And it can take 3 to 4 hours, been there. So what better way than to create a formula, to create a lifestyle that's tailored to yourself? I am not going to create a lifestyle that is tailored to you. I want to make that very clear. With this formula, you can kind of just get a gist of where your life falls into place on the formula, and then just rearrange things, adjust things so it fits better to you. And so you're consistently growing in a direction that is bringing you more to the now, because that is how you astral project. I'm going to leave it there. It's a very abstract, weird way to say it, but I'm sure someone could figure it out just from that. So, what did I do yesterday? Well, I completely binged and destroyed myself. Now, I don't mean this as an attack to those around me, but the people that I'm helping show a lack of self-control, that they don't really work their bodies that much. They overthink too much. And those are the main problems that I'm handling with people. So I decided to completely splurge. Whatever my mind wanted to do, yes, I'm gonna go do it, even if I knew it was a bad idea long term. I didn't do any exercise. I didn't stretch. I didn't do anything. I completely ruined myself. And after coming from travels where my routine was pretty off, I already wasn't in tip-top shape. So this sent me down quite a hole. But this morning, I decided I was gonna put myself through what I believe would be a formula to help me get into that state where I could astral project consistently. But remember, it's a lifestyle, so I want to build the foundations for a good lifestyle. So I've been journaling today. Pen fell. Pencil. Very simple and easy stuff. And if you're following this and you have no idea what the foundation and the blossoming are, I would check those out first, because this is a part of a course called Permanent Peace, and the lifestyle builds off of the foundation meditation and the blossoming. Now, the blossoming just helped me start stretching every single day. I don't do all of the blossoming's techniques anymore. I mean, I do them every now and then, but not all the time. I have my own stretches that I just enjoy. So the blossoming is just there to help you start stretching more often. But either or, I took Senna. Senna is a laxative. It's a stimulant laxative, meaning that your colon is going to get really strong contractions, meaning that whatever's in there, which is poop, is going to come out. It also is going to dehydrate you quite considerably. So I've been drinking water all day. I think it's 2:14. I haven't eaten since 9 p.m. last night. And I'm just feeding myself water to keep everything moving, because if I eat, then the purging is gonna stop, and that's no fun, because then I'm gonna have new food to digest and old poop to poop out. I cleaned my space. And this is very important, because with the purge and all that stuff, where you're gonna be cleaning out your body's gonna feel really good. But when you come back out to your room or your kitchen or your living room and you see all the messes that you've left for yourself and others have left for you, you're going to enter a state of stress. And you don't want to hoard thoughts like you've been hoarding things physically. So get things done. While you're pooping and getting rid of all that physical waste, get rid of all that mental waste as well. So, clean. Entertainment has been huge. I found that the last time that I went around like this purge thing, I got really bored, and that helped me sabotage myself towards the end, because I had nothing to do, so I only focused on the bad. This I'm counteracting with by vlogging this whole process, because this is just a testing phase. I'm not going to say that this is the actual formula, but it'll be good for me to look back on these and help create a more complete video when I decide to, you know, finalize this portion of the project. But relaxation is the true medicine, the true food, and the true desire. When I was doing the foundation meditation, after cleaning up my room, I started to do exercise, because exercise is incredibly important when it comes to a lifestyle that brings you to the now, just because you have to be engaged in what you're doing, or else you run the risk of performing with bad form, hurting yourself, and just not giving yourself the quality workout that you wanted. And while exercising, I would sometimes sit and I would just slip into meditation. I would just go into the foundation. Oh man, it was so good. When my body relaxed, it was like the desire to work out went away, the desire to eat went away, the desire to go outside went away. And when I came back here and started putting my focus on my senses, on my outside world, all those desires came back with force. But when I let go of all those things, when I allow myself to let go of all those things, it made being so much easier. And that's the whole point of this lifestyle, is you really gotta be here. And yeah, to clean up the room takes you away from just nasty thoughts. Cleaning up a room is so important. Cleaning up the body helps your mind stay even. Meditation helps you think, helps you be here now and be aware of where your mind is going. And movement is like a high right now. I love it. I am so excited to go on a walk. I think that'll be a quick little entry thing. I'm gonna go get some food. I am gonna go grocery shopping so I can set myself up. I don't think today is gonna be appropriate to do a full fast, because let's say people are used to eating 3 times a day, they're used to not moving so much, and they want to engage in this lifestyle. To ask them to not eat food for a full day and to only drink water, I think would make most people stress and most people fail and have them believe they can't actually live this lifestyle. So cutting that out, just do the Senna, fast, and just drink water. At least, what am I at right now? 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2. So I have 17 hours of fasting under my belt. I'd say reach at least 12 if you're gonna go through this. Just minimum 12 hours and at least 2 to 3 waves of pooping with the Senna. I think that's good. So future JC, take notes if you're just watching this for fun. There you go. Yeah, I'm gonna go get fruit bowls, juice, and fruities. I'll see you guys soon. Woo! Ta-da! So I am back after roughly, let's say like 3 hours. It was fun. It was really nice. I went and got fruit bowls and cold pressed juice. I think I mentioned that. And towards the end, I was meditating, waiting for my food. I started to get in there, man. This inner space is really what's making this whole formula work. All the things you do, eating, meditating, exercising, whatever creative task you do to keep yourself in the now, to keep yourself active, it really depends on where you are internally when performing these things. Because if you go to work and you are doing the tasks at hand, but you are roaming your memory or entertaining the fantasy future or just playing around with nonsense, it's not gonna be to the best of your ability. But if you're performing the task at hand with utter concentration and completely letting go of the past or the future, just any invasive thought other than the action of hand, you become absorbed into it. You become a very proficient performer of whatever you are doing, whether that is walking, whether that is meditation, reading, your job, music, whatever it is. And so that's really what I've been practicing. And especially today, after just worse, my awareness was so messy yesterday. Like, you guys, oh God. For those of you that live a chaotic lifestyle and have transitioned to a healthy one after some time, and you understand the difference, that I was at like the low of that last night. And it was incredible how quickly the body can bounce back once you give it what it needs, which is an anchor. The breath is my favorite thing. I only breathe through my nose. I don't breathe through my mouth. I was actually, when I was at Denver, I pointed that out to the person that I was with, because we were hanging out and she was breathing through her mouth. And I could tell just how much quicker her breath was going. And I understand where the mind and where the emotion and where the body goes when the breath increases. So I was like, hey, try breathing through your nose. And I also found that when I was getting nervous on my walk, when I would lose myself in my mind, I would grab a breath from my mouth, and that would always be the thing that woke me up. I was back to my nose. So like, even there I was, but yeah, it's very important to be with the now, breathing through your nose and absorbed into the task at hand. Let's see. I wrote down some things before getting on here. But the foundation, honestly, I cannot emphasize enough how much you need to be familiar with that going into the formula. After coming here, I just sat down and told myself, like, just lose yourself, just go. And allowing myself to lose my awareness in that practice, to stay concentrated, but to drop the body, to drop the mind, to drop all these things is so valuable to me, because of the levels of relaxation and the ability to recharge that you get from it. And this ability to recharge is something that should not go to the side as a whatever thing. When you eat, when people are stressed out at work and they go to eat, what they're looking for is the relaxation that food brings them, the joy that food brings them, the energy that food brings them. But if you notice that when people are eating, outside of the task that work brings them, outside of the stresses of life, they start to calm down. But what they're doing is then giving their body another task, which is to break down the food. And a lot of times we don't give ourselves the food that are going to keep our heart rate from shooting up, keeping our blood sugar levels from shooting up, stressing out the body in some way. And it sends you into a different level of stress. What I've been doing is I've just been meditating for lunch. I've just been meditating for breakfast. And that relaxation, that calming of the body, calming of the senses, makes everything else simply go away. This is something that I'm just gonna have to ask you to try. You can take my word for it, but I really wouldn't do that. I would rather experience it for yourself. If you work a part-time job, meditate for your 10. If you work a full-time job, meditate for at least half of your break before going into your food. And when you eat, eat consciously. When I was eating today, I was aware of every bite. I was aware of where my mind was going, why I was enjoying the food that I was enjoying. And one of the things that I really enjoyed back when I was unconscious with my eating was Twix. I really loved Twix. It was a me and my dad thing. A lot of nostalgia there. This fruit bowl had granola in it, and had peanut butter in it, and with the bananas and everything, when I was eating it, it felt like, the texture felt like Twix, and the sugar in it, you know, it's fruit, it reminded me of Twix. And so I found an alternative to this food that I normally would get random cravings for. The reason I bring that up is because, again, with this formula, you're going to be craving some foods that aren't really going to be that conducive to keeping you in the now, because it's going to throw your body off. You might get an acid reflux. Your blood sugar might just spike up. You can feel your awareness become heavy and bogged down by the weight of what you just did. And so if you can find foods that are better for you and become aware of where they are taking your mind or where they're taking your taste buds and see that this can be an alternative, you can really set yourself up for success. Because I just went out and bought a bunch of stuff to make fruit bowls for maybe like the next 4 or 5 days, because I noticed that I was just starting to crave it more, and I figured that that would be better than ordering takeout. I'd make my own food, and it can help me work down into something lighter and to see how I could guide people to something like that. I don't want to go insane extreme, because I know that I can push it for myself and put myself in situations that aren't the best, and I don't want anyone to do that. So we're gonna be very methodical with this. What's another thing? I felt like there was one last thing. I mean, really, just the most important thing about this whole thing, I said thing a lot, is to just be here now. When you notice that you're going off into the past, bring yourself back here. When you notice yourself going to the future, bring yourself back here. When you realize you're just entertaining random thought, bring yourself back. Just become aware of what you're experiencing in the now. And you train concentration and letting go, both of which are extremely important for astral projection. And both of those skills make meditation itself super entertaining and incredibly useful for life. So I think that's good enough for today. I think I'm gonna spend my night editing. I'll do whatever I want to do for the rest of my night. Appreciate you guys. I love y'all. Let's see what tomorrow brings. Peace. Check it out. Wait. It's like a bunny in a jacuzzi. Almost time for me to go to bed. I have to work early, but I felt like it was important to share this story because of how quickly this whole thing is working. As I've said many a times, foundation, everything, permanent peace itself is teaching me to just be. And with just being, I'm here. Like I'm just here. I'm not in the past, I'm not in the future, I'm here. And when you are here, when you're anchored here, incredible things happen. As I'm trying to teach people astral projection is a natural product of being here. And people always tell me they fall asleep, but the process of falling asleep is usually you getting carried away by a series of thoughts and becoming unconscious during that. You lose your awareness to the now. If you were here in the now, you'd astral project every single night consciously. Either or. I go out for a run. And this was before the fruit bowl. I got all dressed, I got all ready, I set myself in the now and I start running and I go into a little trance. And I really, I'm gonna push for it when the formula comes out, but start walking, at least start walking. If you can run, awesome. Just go into a pace that feels comfortable for you and get yourself absorbed in the now. You go into a trance and you can just go for however long you want, honestly. So long as you don't get absorbed in any thought, it's basically unlimited stamina. It's incredible. I do that. I reach this bridge which crosses a river which I live by, and I love this place. I go there quite often during my runs to meditate. And while I'm sitting there, I decide, okay, let me try an open-eyed meditation. I open my eyes and I just set myself in the now. And there's varying degrees of this. First you get anchored into it, and then you move yourself away from the mind, and then you really set into that I, the true I, not the I that will die one day and then, or gets attached to certain things, this and that and the fourth, but the real I, the witnesser. And so I sit and I pay attention to all the sounds around me, pay attention to my breath, my body, so I can really move any aspects of my awareness that are in the past or in the future, and anchor them into the now. And after that, I move into concentration and letting go, just surrendering my attention from anything. I just let it go. And as this starts to progress, I become very still internally. And then I catch myself wondering, what am I supposed to surrender to at this point? Because I start reaching levels of, I don't know if it's absorption, it would be a way to say it. I just get deep. I start getting very deep, but after a certain point, I'm kind of like, where am I going? What am I going into? Like, what is the point of this? And then I moved one step back into the witnesser of these struggles of the mind and the ego. And I was just like, well, it's really cool. And then my ego and mind became aware of what was going on. And then they started to freak out because they know what's going to happen next, which is I'm going to associate with that which is, and my ego and mind essentially die. And this has happened. I've not recorded a lot of these things that's been happening, but this has happened for more than I'd like to say in the past like 2 weeks. And every time I get really scared because it feels like I'm dying, and it's my attachment to my ego. I'm still losing my attachment to my ego, but there are certain levels in which quite a high degree of fear take over. But it's a quick wave and then it goes away. Didn't have the strength to get past it this time. But that didn't mean all of my awareness went back to my ego and mind. There was still this portion of me which was aware of that observer. And it was this really weird space. Like, I had to remind myself, like, I'm not on drugs after like a point. Like, I was like, this is purely the result of meditation. Like, holy cow, it was awesome. It was so cool. And so the reason I share this story is so you can get a better gist of what I'm trying to tell you through the foundation and through permanent peace, is that observer that is even observing the struggles of the character, the struggles of the ego, the struggles of the mind as it tries to surrender and remove its attention from desire, that thing which never stops being aware. And it's so simple, it truly is. And today I saw how I could go from a place of chaos and just feeling disgusting physically to feeling great and going to bed feeling incredible, and with quite a strong level of discipline in my system right now. I don't think I'm really going to hold pity to those who struggle with the first days or struggle with the formula. I don't want to pity anyone. I will have compassion, but it's not hard when you set your mind to that and only that, to just be here. If you're setting your mind to perceive struggles of this course, of this path, of your meditation, of anything, of course it's going to be hard because that's where you're living. But when you live here now, you realize how good everything is, how beautiful life actually is, and how you're okay. I think I can say that, and it might get across, but I want to live that for you guys so you can see it firsthand, because in the end we're the same. We're just an expression of consciousness. That's all it is. And if I can do it, you can do it. Well, my camera's gonna die and I've been talking for too long, so I'll see you guys later. Thank y'all for everything. Peace.